Welcome to the Grieving Girlies, a space for the hearts that are healing from loss. I'm your host, Jode, here to hold space for the hard stuff, navigating loss with honesty, vulnerability, and zero judgment, because we deserve to grieve out loud.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Grieving Girlies and welcome to another episode. In today's episode I've got a very special guest. This is my bestie, Georgia, and in today's episode we are going to be covering how to support a friend through grief, because it's something that obviously Georgia is very familiar with now.
Just a tad of practice.
Yeah, just a little bit of practice. And I would say that G has been honestly like my rock through my grief, and I don't know how, but she just always knew what to do. She just handled it so well. So I feel like she's the perfect person to have on and debrief with. So let's just dive into a little bit how it felt to have to go through what we went through together, but more so like when you kind of initially found out that Jack had passed and how you felt in terms of firstly him dying and the shock of that, but secondly being my best friend and knowing how I'm going to be feeling.
Yeah, just like a whirlwind really, and a huge shock. But I'd say my first thing was like panic for you and knowing what to do, and I'd say like in those first few moments, like questioning, right, do I go over there now? Do I wait a bit? What do I do right now? It was better because when I found out, I knew you had your mum and your sister there.
Yeah, I think that you honestly did from my perspective, I think you did the perfect thing with me in that moment, and in general, you always kind of left it up to me. You were very, very on it with making sure I knew that you were there if I needed you. Like, you literally text me straight away and said, like, I'm not expecting you to reply, but just know if you need me, I'll be there in a second. But like, in all of the moments afterwards where that's kind of what you continued to do, you continued to say, you know, if you want to go out today, we'll go out. If you want to sit in, I'll come and sit in bed with you and have a cup of tea. If you want to not see anyone, I'll stay at home, but know that if you change your mind, I'm there. And I think that that is like the perfect thing to do, to be honest.
Well, I think it had to be led by you, really. There were times where people did, or even I did, like try and make you do something because we thought, you know, is that better to try and, you know, get you out of bed? Is that like what you need? And then it's like, if you're not going with that and that's not what you want to do, it's just like a bit of then like a battle, and then you don't want to see anyone. So it's like, it is easier really to just go from what you want to do and just go with the flow, I found anyway.
I always think one of the actually worst things, and obviously it comes from a place of love, but is when people want to like make you feel better. Yeah. Because it's like, I don't want to fucking feel better. Like,
I just want to cry.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to feel better. My boyfriend died like yesterday. You don't have to like make...
I think the immediate reaction is to go like, right, okay, like, how can we solve this? Just that realisation, like, it's not really something to solve.
Yeah.
There's not really a solution.
In full transparency... We just spoke for 10 minutes and lost it. So we're going to go to the funeral and what G did for me at the funeral, because again, I think it's helpful to know. And it was something that I really appreciated, was that you had to be incredibly selfless the whole time. You still do, really, the whole time. I think grief makes you selfish, and it makes you only able to see how you feel and what you want to do and blah blah blah, whereas for you, trying to support me through navigating that, you had to just be like, look, I'll do whatever you need me to do in those early days. So at the funeral, you were very much there for me, even though it broke your heart being there at the same time. You literally said to me, like, if you need me to go out and get food when we're at the wake, I'll go out and get food. Or like, you know, if someone was up like talking to me and upsetting me and I gave you a look, you would have like come over and intervened. And just to know that I had you so in my corner and so like there, it's just so helpful to have someone literally there to just help me however you can.
The main important thing to me was that you were alive. That sounds really dark, but it
Yeah.
was that dark. Like, I'm not joking.
Yeah.
The main important thing to me was you were alive and you were getting up. So it's like, if that meant that we did what you wanted to do, especially through those early days,
Yeah.
it didn't matter to me. I also just knew you as a person.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I could tell when you needed space or needed quiet or what you wanted to do.
Yeah, I think you very much understood what I'd lost, and I also appreciated that as well. Just that kind of unspoken thing of like, you never minimalized my grief. You knew that obviously he meant a hell of a lot to me and what I'd lost, but also you lost a friend as well.
Yeah.
Like, not only were you supporting me, but you and Jack were especially beginning when you got back from uni. Beginning a really beautiful friendship. So how was that?
I think I was sad that friendship came to an end for me, like, quickly.
Too quick.
Like, there was so much stuff, and I think especially now, like, with me being with Ben, there was stuff, the four of us, that we would have done, but even before that, just there was so much stuff that the three of us would have done, and I think that was the sadness, that it was ending too quick. And then I was just sad to lose a friend. And I think most people that have met Jack, like, he had met my parents once, and even my parents were sad.
Yeah.
Like,
he had an impact on people, even meeting them one time.
Exactly. And then I just think that, like, then if I felt that way, I knew that you'd be feeling 100 times worse. So I think it was like that understanding of how bad you're feeling.
Yeah.
Obviously, I never fully understand because I'm not you.
Yeah,
but
of course.
I understood as much as I could.
Again, it's down to, like, you knew what I'd lost. Like, you knew, you'd seen our relationship and you know how much we loved each other, but also you knew how much of a great person he was and what a loss that is. Even to you, who had like a short friendship, or to like your parents who met him once, but like it's still a loss. I want to talk a little bit about kind of grieving me. Obviously our friendship has changed a lot since we met like 10 years ago, but more importantly, like before loss and after loss, I feel like you almost, like, I'm a completely different person, and obviously as my friend you became friends with someone who, like, you didn't sign up to really be friends with this version of me, let's be honest.
I want a fucking refund.
You should get a refund. But like, how have you found that, and obviously the changes in me and us as a duo?
Yeah. Again, it's just different, isn't it? It's bittersweet, like everything is. You've definitely changed as a person, and definitely, I would just say, like, obviously now our friendship is, you rely on me, you needed to rely on me.
Yeah.
And so it becomes a different type of friendship. I don't even know how to explain that, really. And then also, there were things that you used to enjoy that now you wouldn't enjoy. And it was just learning those things and learning that actually, I mean, of course, you're not wanting to go on a massive night out all the time. I think I had massive sadness seeing you so sad, because I had seen you so happy. To, you know, see you in that state was horrific. I would say, like, my one piece of advice for that would be to have, I had other people around me. I had other friends, and
you need support as well.
Support for myself.
Yeah.
So, like, when there were times where you were really, really dark times.
Yeah.
I would come away from that and be so worried.
Needing therapy.
Yeah, because I would just be so scared. And I remember, like, having chats with my mum and being like, what if she does something to herself and I'm not there? Like, that was really scary. So I'd say, but like, my mum was my greatest support, and then I also had my other best friend who I spoke to, and she helped me.
So we've touched on it sort of briefly, but how can you explain the difference between how you had to support me back then, which is, like we were saying, basically giving 100% to the friendship and just basically doing whatever I wanted at the time, to now we're like nearly 2 years on. Obviously you're still great at doing the right thing, but like, how do you feel that support has had to change?
I mean, I think it has to change over time, just because, like, obviously my life moves on, really. That's the
Yeah.
main reason. I was just graduated from uni. So I think one thing that I actually didn't say was about leaving you when I went to uni. That was horrendous. I hated that time. But like, obviously then I had to support you from a distance, which was completely different. There got to a point, like the time when it happened, I was able to be around pretty much every day, if not every other day. That meant that then when I went away, it was forced into having to change. And I didn't want to go. I remember, do you remember I was sobbing when I left? It was horrendous.
So was I.
Then I think it became more of a case of just checking in whenever you could and making sure that you were doing things.
Do you know what always sticks out in my head? When you went on a night out and you started crying in the middle of a nightclub and you sent me a voice note. Obviously you were tipsy. You sent me a voice note like, I just can't stop thinking about you and I'm just so sad for you. But it was just like, to me, I obviously was heartbroken that you went back to uni, but I was saying to you like, G, you've got to go back. Like, you need to go back. I'm okay. Like, I'll be fine. And for me, when you were doing that, like you were out on a night out with all your uni friends, you'd had a breakdown because you were worried about me and sad for me and just, you know, all this shit was obviously on your shoulders. And for me, it was like so not nice that you were crying, but it was just so nice that you were 5 hours away from me crying in a nightclub because of what I was going through, basically, or what we were going through. And it was just kind of like, yes, the support has changed, but it was still there.
Yeah.
And I knew it was still there, whether you were like 5 hours away or not. I knew if I picked up the phone and needed you, you would have been on a train back, next train back. I was going to say you'd be on the other end of the phone, but I know you would have been.
I would have went to train right away. I slowly let you kind of take the lead in what you wanted to do. Yeah. With like basically your life. As time went on, starting to see like, okay, what did you want to do? And obviously like, built the podcast, built your business back, all of those things. Then you got busy with those things. So it was like, okay, how can you still be there? And like now I would say I'd message you being like, oh, I haven't messaged in a couple of days. Like, how are you doing? I think you still, like, even going back to last Christmas or like my birthday. Yeah. Last Christmas, obviously it was over a year at that point. And you were saying like, right, let's do something together Christmas Eve because I'm home from uni, blah, blah, blah. And I'm free. I'll keep it free for you, which firstly, thanks. Like you keep it free for me. But also you said like, because normally we'd go out on Christmas Eve. So you said like, if you want to go out, we'll go out. If you don't want to go out, we'll sit in. If you want to just like go for dinner and then go home, we'll do that. Or if you want to go out, but then you're like, no, I can't do this. I want to go. It's too busy. I want to go home. We'll do that. Like, and again, it's so much appreciated because you haven't just like stopped doing that because time has passed. I actually think that's really made me think of a point is like, the main times now that I'm really, I'd say, aware is big dates. Yeah. Christmases. Like, I think we've had a New Year where it was just me, you, and the dogs that you were adopting. And that was quite cute. Basically, days where normally you'd be in relationships. Even if it's just checking in on those days. Yeah, just like, a text. Yeah. Saying, like, if it's Valentine's Day, obviously that's going to be a hard one. Yeah. So, just a text. Again, another point is, like, in all of this, there's been things that I've done wrong through the time, I'd say, just from the fact that I'm a human and it's not happening to me and I'm not you. Yeah. But any time that any of those things has happened, I've just been really honest with you about it and gone either like, oh my god, I completely forgot, or like there's been times where I've been swept away with my own stuff, especially when I was at uni, like doing my exams. Like I'd be so swept away and I don't live here anymore and it's been like a week or so and I'd text you being like, I'm so sorry, like, how are you doing? Like, it's been, do you know what I mean? I'm so sorry, it's been so long. Obviously, with knowing how sad you are, the last thing I would want is for you to think that I don't care anymore. Because when you're in such a dark place, like, you can quite easily overreact to stuff. So I want to just quickly acknowledge that it's not easy to
be like the closest friend of someone going through a tough loss, because I know it's not easy, and I feel like at the time in the early days I did try to acknowledge you don't have to know what to do kind of thing, but I do want to put it out there to anyone that might be watching that's supporting someone through grief. It's not fucking easy.
It's fucking hard.
Yeah,
really
you're
hard.
Gonna get things wrong.
Yeah.
You're gonna say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But to be honest, those are the things that make us feel more seen, because we don't know what to say either. We don't know what to do either. We are messy, and when you're messy with being there, it kind of makes us feel better. So I honestly think, and my motto would be, just say anything, not nothing.
Yeah, anything, not nothing.
Yeah.
That's a really good...
Yeah, because if I had a fucking penny for every time someone said, oh, if I pulled one of my friends up that wasn't supporting me, oh, I didn't know what to say to you.
Just check in when you can and you'll be fine.
Mm.
Let them know that you're up for doing whatever.
If you're going to be a friend for the good times, be a friend for the bad.
times.
On that note, I'd like to say I love my Gigi.
I love you.
She's the bestest friend in the world, and I'm very lucky to have her. And I love you forever. We're just bonded for life.
Yeah, we are.
Over my sadness.
Definitely.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, as always, thank you for watching The Grieving Girlies, and I will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.